The FBI is searching for a Kentucky man in connection with an incident they say happened hundreds of miles away.
Showers moving across the area this evening. Tonight, though, the back end of this could likely end up as a little light snow as we head into the early morning hours on your Monday. I'll track it through the area.
And tonight we are learning new details about what police believe could be a murder-suicide out of Estill County. We have a crew at St. Joseph Hospital in Lexington where their investigation ended.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening. I'm Kristen Kennedy. Kentucky State Police have just identified the woman found dead on an Estill County road yesterday. They say 29-year-old Ellen Townsend died from a gunshot wound. Troopers now say Townsend's death could be part of an apparent murder-suicide. Jordan Valines is live at St. Joseph's Hospital in Lexington, where police found the body of the man they believe killed Townsend.
Kristen, that's right. Kentucky State Police say an investigation into Ellen Townsend's death led them here to St. Joe's Hospital East in Lexington. Police say 29-year-old Ellen Townsend was last seen in a silver Chrysler sedan with 44-year-old Rocky Conrad. On Saturday morning, a driver in Estill County called police after spotting Townsend's body in a ditch along Nolan Creek Road. This morning around 10:30, police arrived at the parking lot here at St. Joe's East on North Eagle Creek, where they found Rocky Conrad's body inside of that silver sedan. When officers searched the sedan, they found a firearm along with Conrad's personal property. Now, state police do tell us that Conrad is the only suspect in this case. Live in Lexington, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
The Lexington Police Department and the Fayette County Coroner are investigating Conrad's death. We're ending the weekend on a pretty wet note here in the Bluegrass. Many parts of the state are seeing rain. That rain could turn to ice overnight, making the morning commute a messy one. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell's tracking those overnight changes on the First Alert Defender.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a mess for folks out there tomorrow morning, bright and early, especially when that snow transition also happens. So you have two things going against you: wet roads from the rain out there now and some of the melting, and then you throw in a little bit of snow, and that could make for a tricky Monday morning for you. Right now, you see the swath of rain showing up from western parts of Kentucky through northern and now out into eastern Kentucky. And this is just all plain old rain. Temperatures certainly supporting that out there for you. We look outside and you can still see the snow hanging out here in Lexington. I mean, we had 5 inches of it here at the station, so naturally right around us we're going to hold on to a little bit more for a while longer. 43 degrees in Lexington right now, so well above that freezing mark with those showers starting to crank up throughout the entire area. A little wave of energy, the area of low pressure tracking right over Kentucky. That has kept us away from the snowier swath, which is showing up just to our north. Some of the winter weather thoughts that I have as we move forward here tonight: watch for refreezing with light snow Monday morning and a little accumulation coming in out of that. So the focus of the forecast will remain tracking that changeover during the overnight hours tonight. And when that changeover happens, that means the temperatures are dropping, and so we could see that refreezing come into play. We'll look at it a little closer coming up in just a few minutes.
Just like Jim said, that rain could freeze overnight if temperatures continue to drop. Road crews are already preparing to head back out and fight icy roads. WKYT's Mike Linden is in Scott County talking to crews preparing for a long night.
It's been a long weekend for drivers in the Scott County Road Department after the first measurable snowfall of 2015. According to Road Supervisor J.R. Brandenburg, a crew of 16 drivers worked from Friday afternoon straight through into Saturday morning. Crews used more than 300 tons of salt to keep the more than 270 miles of roads in Scott County clear. That's more than twice the normal amount of salt used during a normal snowfall. With possible slick spots on the roads overnight and into the work week, drivers are resting up now to get ready to potentially work again early Monday morning.
Ice is the worst case scenario. It's hard to do anything with. It's hard to visually see out there on the roadways, and we dread ice terribly bad.
Brandenburg says that with rain in the forecast overnight tonight, that could make for slick spots on the roadways heading into Monday morning. So he'll communicate with his crew at around 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning whether or not they'll head out to treat the roads for the early morning commute. In Scott County, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Road crews in Scott County say it costs them about $14,000 every time they go out and treat roads. He served Kentuckians for decades, first in Frankfort, later in Washington. Tonight, people around the Commonwealth are paying tribute to Wendell Ford. The former governor and U.S. senator died last week at his home in Owensboro. He was 90 years old. Today, people from across the Commonwealth went to Frankfort for a memorial service. Sam Smith shows us how some of Kentucky's political leaders are remembering former Senator Ford.
Earlier today, Senator Wendell Ford's friends and colleagues gathered inside the Capitol Rotunda to talk about and honor his memory. Governor Steve Beshear said Ford had the courage to step up and lead. Senator Ford served as a state senator, lieutenant governor, and governor. Governor Beshear said he was a guide, mentor, and counselor, and that he defended the rights of the poor and needy. Thomas Preston, Ford's senior advisor when he was governor, gave the eulogy. When talking about Ford's time in office, he described him as a workhorse instead of a show horse.
Here truly then was and is one of God's finest designs. Yes, a colossus performing good deeds for so many, whenever, wherever opportunities arose.
Ford died Thursday in his Owensboro home at the age of 90 after fighting lung cancer. We'll have much more on this service tonight at 11. In Frankfort, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Ford's funeral will be Tuesday morning in Owensboro. The FBI is investigating a kidnapping that started in Missouri and has connections to Kentucky. Tonight, we're learning the suspected kidnapper might be in Lexington. WKYT's Sean Moody has the latest on a multi-state investigation.
The FBI says this has spanned hundreds of miles, Missouri to central Kentucky. On Thursday morning, an FBI spokesperson says two people carjacked a 67-year-old man in his driveway. They say his work truck was still in the driveway and the keys were nearby, but his personal van was gone and there were signs of a struggle.
The dead-end street, I can't understand why they would come down here, but then again, that's people.
Kansas City TV station KCTV reports the men took the victim to a McDonald's not far from his home, then to an ATM, then a gas station.
It is crazy because, I mean, stuff like this doesn't happen around here. But now, like, it just makes you think, like, you never know who's going to walk through that door.
The FBI says the man was able to escape near St. Louis.
He does have some minor injuries sustained from this incident by the suspects.
Police found the van wrecked and empty hundreds of miles away along the Bluegrass Parkway in Bardstown. They believe one of the men inside was 25-year-old Robert Caldwell of Danville. Now FBI agents believe Caldwell might be here in Lexington, nearly 600 miles from where they say this all began. The FBI says a car was stolen after the accident, and they believe Caldwell may be driving it. They say law enforcement has evidence that Caldwell was in Danville Friday night and may have come to Lexington. They say he should be considered armed and dangerous. If you have information about where he might be, they ask that you call police. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
The FBI described the stolen car as a gray 2008 Mitsubishi Eclipse with the plate number 663JKY. Police need help tracking down a person involved in an overnight shooting in Lexington. Around 2 this morning, investigators say someone fired shots at the Four Seasons Martial Arts Studio on Floyd Drive. Officers say a man then walked up to someone standing in a large crowd and shot him in the leg. The victim, we're told, has non-life-threatening injuries. A man is dead and a woman in critical condition after a crash in Russell County. The Russell County Sheriff tells us a man and woman from Nashville were driving on the Cumberland Parkway last night when they crashed and flipped their car. Deputies say the wreck threw both individuals out of the car. The driver, whose identity is still unknown, died at the scene. Emergency crews flew the passenger to UK Hospital where she's in critical condition. Friends and family of a Lexington murder victim are preparing to lay him to rest. Todd Schumacher will be buried tomorrow on his family's farm in Norwalk, Wisconsin. Schumacher died last week. Police say his boyfriend, Matthew Donahue, stabbed him to death in their home on Lamont Drive. Family held a memorial service for Schumacher in Jessamine County.
He was just humorous. He had a wonderful laugh. And every time he stepped into a room, you knew it. Very good, kind-hearted person. Loved his family and loved his friends. and had such a good sense of humor, made people laugh. His laugh was infectious. I mean, it just really made you, just drew you in. Really can't say enough good things about him.
Schumacher's murder is Lexington's first for 2015. State police say they're going through a trooper shortage right now. The agency is about 100 troopers short of its authorized staffing level. WKYT's Hillary Thornton asked state police why they're having a hard time hiring.
Last week, Kentucky State Police added 69 new troopers with the graduation of the 92nd Cadet class.
I've been waiting for this moment since I was probably about 7 or 8 years old, so it's been a long time coming. I'm not very old, I'm just 22, but it's still been a long time coming to me. And it's one of the proudest moments of my life so far.
However, even with the addition of those new troopers now proudly wearing that gray uniform, Kentucky State Police is about 100 troopers short of its authorized staffing level.
KSP is not the only agency in the area struggling with recruitment. Earlier this month here at his swearing-in ceremony, Lexington's new police chief said it is one of their biggest challenges.
I look at the challenges we have in front of us right now. Part of those challenges are recruitment, getting the quality of officers that we want in Lexington, holding the standards that we have.
Looking to recruit men and women qualified for a position that they say they take great pride in, but is not always a popular career choice.
As the country faces all the challenges against law enforcement, we've had more threats from abroad, even here locally. And this weekend, while a lot of us were sleeping, our officers got out with a robbery suspect with a sawed-off shotgun concealed in his jacket. A lot of you all don't hear it because we don't put it out there. But that's what they're doing every day, sacrificing out there with great discipline.
In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
State police would like to hire more troopers than the number they're currently allowed to bring onto the force.